Yo! Welcome back to Semen Retention. Today's episode is going to be a little bit about semen retention here and there, but it's going to be more about kind of like as you keep kind of awakening and practicing things like semen retention, fasting. This is a big one on today's topic. It's going to make you kind of look at the whole practices of like what I'd call like the NPC world or the clown world. So for example, Christmas is coming up. I'm a musician. I can make money on Christmas Day. I could get 2 gigs and earn about $1,000+ easily. Like up to $2,000 I could earn in 24 hours, right? So I've got the option of that. And then I've got the option of going to my parents' house and all my relatives being there and sitting down and, eating food, drinking drinks, having nothing really of depth to talk about to these people because none of them have the capacity to go to the realms that I'm wanting to talk about. And look, I just feel personally that there's nothing wrong with missing out on a day that no one actually celebrates as a spiritual kind of significant day, as a cosmic significant day. In Australia, it's summer solstice on Christmas Day. And of course, on the other side of the planet, it is winter solstice. So there are some significant meanings behind the actual, equinox and the way the cosmic kind of things work, right? And there's also some significant meaning behind, I guess, Christmas Day being, a time in people's lives. It's about giving and all that kind of stuff. And that's, again, a manufactured kind of thing that eventually devolved into just hyper-consumerism of not only junk that we don't need, but also of heaps of food and, just gluttony, right? So for me, last year on Christmas Day, I actually ended up going to my uncle's house. He was hosting. And I ended up fasting for the majority of the day until about 5:40 p.m. Like just before 6 o'clock, I finally broke my fast. And I was fasting all day because I was like, you know what? Like, I want to really get closer to the truth. Because when you're fasting, you are dismantling the matrix. And what I find when I go on fast is that I end up cleaning up my house. I end up chucking out old things. I end up rearranging spaces. I make the energy flow. It's like a detox internally that permeates externally as well. So when it comes to Christmas Day fasting, I started to notice just the same old patterns reoccurring once again. People that don't really have anything in common with each other, just spending the whole day eating and drinking and talking absolute nonsense. And, it got to a point where I was like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. Like, I did have a few good conversations, but it was one of those things that I was like, I'd actually prefer just going out and playing a gig, because I was offered a gig that day last year on Christmas Day. But I didn't take it. So this time I have taken 1 gig and I have the potentiality to take another 2 gigs, which will make me earn about $2,000 in 24 hours. So I now look at Christmas Day as just another day to make $1. And I know some of you guys might be thinking, oh, that's a very capitalistic or like a very money hungry type of way of looking at things. And it's like, yep, you're 100% right. Because where I'm at in my life is about creating the foundations with my wealth to be able to protect me when I get older. Because as a musician, I don't want to be a 50-year-old man even though I'll be super healthy when I'm 50-year-old, but I don't want to be a 50-year-old man doing the same amount of gigs that I do now. I'd hope that I'd be doing select gigs and they'd be paying well. And I'd also hope that I'd have other investments that just allow me to just relax a bit, you know? So yeah, I'm on my beast mode grind at the moment, okay? I'm on my beast mode grind. I'm, you know, smashing the Excel spreadsheets and putting in my numbers. I'm crunching the numbers. I'm using ChatGPT to create some financial plans for me that allow me to accumulate interest and dividends and all that kind of stuff over time. You know, I'm always keeping my eye on crypto and all that kind of stuff. I'm always keeping my eye on, you know, different industries. Like at the moment, silver is rising at the moment. You know, never put, as far as financial advice goes, and never put all your eggs in one basket. I know there's a lot of people in the spiritual community that love Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff. It's like, cool, man, but like, you also got to know when to sell something. When, you know, you got to learn how to take a profit, mate, because Bitcoin doesn't give you dividends, you nuff. So anyway, so what happens is I'm just treating Christmas Day as another day to make money. Yeah. Now, on the positive side for my family is that my brother's getting married soon, so I will see them all within a month's time from Christmas Day. So, you know, it works out for everyone. And I'm also getting paid at my brother's wedding to perform music. So, hey, look guys, I'm just trying to make a buck, you know. The music industry, it's a cutthroat industry if you guys don't know. You know, you're only as good as your last gig, and if you keep saying no to gigs, you know, no one's going to be offering you gigs. And if you keep saying yes to gigs, you will eventually be able to weed out the gigs you don't want to say yes to, you know? You'd be able to just say, oh, I'm unavailable. Here's a little bit of a business tip. Never burn a bridge, but just say you're unavailable, okay? And just slowly distance yourself from people over time. Like, that's related to professional life. When it comes to, you know, just friendships and relationships and stuff like that, of course you can, in my opinion, it's sometimes good to just completely burn a bridge and set that boundary that, like, no, I'm not going to be talking to you again. And that's a good way of, like, you know, just moving on with your life. So, yeah, you know, let me know what you guys think about, like, you know, holidays and all these public holidays that we've got in our lives, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Australia Day, 4th of July, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, like, let me know what you think about all these kind of celebration days, and are they really something that you look forward to, like as a 30-year-old man or as a, you know, 20-something-year-old dude? Do you really, like, think to yourself, oh yay, I can't wait to go hang out with all my friends and drink a lot of alcohol and smoke a lot and maybe take some pills on this celebration day so that way I can have fun? Is that really your idea of fun? Because I don't think you're on the right channel, right? I think if you're subscribed to Semen Retentions, or in my case, Steam Retention, if you're subscribed to that, you know, like, I think, like, you're basically on a wavelength of cutting out all the bullshit in your life, right? So, yeah, look, that's pretty much all I want to say about, like, that. Like, and I just wanted to give you guys my opinion. It's not a bad thing for you to want to prioritize making money and setting up your life whilst other people get together and have drinks and eat a lot of food, and they call it some sort of spiritual event, i.e. Christmas, which is about, you know, Jesus Christ's birthday. You know, we all know that Christmas is okay, I'm gonna go deep here, guys. If you made it to this 9-minute mark of the video, here's a little Easter egg for you. So, if you're in the semen retention community, you've probably already heard about the chrism oil, right? The Christ oil. Like, that is what we're raising through our spine. That is what's like feeding our brain. That is what's like creating the connection to God. That is what's giving our antenna like an opening and receiving all these insights and downloads and helping us be creative and switched on and hyper aware of everyone's emotions and energetic kind of auras and all that kind of stuff. That's all that is all about, okay? That's all Santa going down the claustrum. We've all seen the Jim Carrey video clip where he talks about Santa Claus, you know, claus meaning claustrum. It goes down your claustrum and then drops off a present and then, you know, comes back up the chimney. Yes, that is all about the Christ oil, the chrism oil, the Kundalini. Look, guys, we're not talking about how, you know, when Santa Claus gives us a stocking full of candy and we're going to smash down a whole bag of chocolate in one day and put ourselves a few days back from progress because we have to follow a tradition. We have to keep the family happy and follow a tradition. Nah, you know what would keep the family happy, in my opinion, is showing your parents that you are in control of your own life and you have your own autonomy and just setting up your own life to be something really good. Because, you know, there's plenty of people that get invited to Christmas. Not all of them have their shit together though, hey, you know. There's some of those people that come to Christmas and they're drunk. There's some of those people that come to Christmas and they haven't even got a job down yet. And, you know, they get all the smiles and the handshakes and the presents at Christmas, and it's all happy and joy and we're all one big family. But at the end of the day, these aren't people that you necessarily want around your children, leading them as role models. And I'm just being flat out blunt, okay? I know that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but look, I've got a standard and I stick to it on this channel. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Catch up.